reached out and asked if you had read the indictment, and you said you read it word for word, page for page, right?
I did. I keep up. I love Jackson.
Even though they've not been in court and they've not been found guilty, it's just an indictment at this point.
They don't see it. My first statement was, think about your family. Think about your family. Put your family first.
I never thought in a million years we would have been put in the situation that we were in. Never. Because we went through our whole career doing the right thing.
It's utterly ridiculous to me. Utterly ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. And good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's edition of the Othor Cain Show. I'm Othor Cain. Glad to have you here on a Tuesday. Man, can we all just take a sigh of relief today? The voting precincts, the voting polls are closed. Can we just, right? No matter what the outcome is, right? Can we just, man. It's been long. Hey, Sissy, how are you? It's been long. But we are here. It's over for tonight. At least the polls are closed. Results are slowly coming in. I'm sure all of the camps are getting numbers faster than we are. I was going to do the show from a polling place, but I've decided against that. But we're going to just have a conversation. We don't have any real results to share. Hey, Vincent, we don't have any real results to share at this point, but we'll just have some general conversations tonight. We got to, hey, Barbara, right, thank goodness. We've got to we got to talk about a lot. And maybe results will come before we get off. Anyway, though, but I'm glad to have you here. I really do appreciate your support. I really appreciate your support. And thank you to all of you that have sponsored us, sent us a nickel here, a dime there. We do appreciate it. Tonight, we began the broadcast, though, with a brand new feature, one that I'm quite excited about because I think that it has the potential to grow, to expand, and become something big. I hope that the ultimate goal is to become a wine writer, wine blogger, and all of that. And so tonight, we're introducing a segment called Let's Wine About It, right? Let's wine about it. Look at that. Look at that. Uncook the Truth, a wine review with a twist where bold flavors meet bold commentary. Dr. J is a bad mamma jamma, right? So let's whine about it a little bit. And so I'll start. And so you got to participate in this. Grab your favorite bottle of wine, glass of wine, and join in. And so, I'll show you the bottle first. So tonight, I have a bottle of Earthquake Cabernet. Can you see that? Earthquake Cabernet. It's really good. This is a full body. I love wine. I particularly love red wine. I do some whites though, but I am particularly fond of red wine. So I want to whine about it just a little bit. So this is an Earthquake Cabernet, California winery. This is a bold wine. The body is full, right? The body is full. And I like that. I think when I first started drinking red wine, I started when I switched over from white to red, and I still do both, like I said, especially depending on the time of the day and the mood and all of that. But when I first switched over to red and started drinking red, I think I started with a Pinot Noir, and I love Pinot Noir then, but I don't like it so much now, except for an African Pinot Noir I really like. But most Pinot Noirs now tastes like water to me. Kevin, what's up, brother? Most Pinot Noirs taste like water to me, and maybe it's because I kind of graduated from Pinot Noir, did Merlot, did Cabs and Chins, and so now, and I like a Malbec as well. But this Cabernet is full bodied, lots of really good notes in this. You could taste some chocolate, you could taste some hickory, you can taste some berries in it. Not sweet at all, because I don't do sweet, don't like sweet wine at all, don't like sweet drinks really, period. But this is really good. This will go with a nice piece of salmon. This will go, of course, with a nice rack of lamb and, of course, all of your steaks and all of that. But a nice rack of lamb this would go with, and a nice piece of salmon this would go with as well. But this is really good. I'd love to see you and hear what you're drinking if you have a glass of wine with you. You can show so that you can definitely send us a selfie of your drink of choice, your wine. You can. Barbara says, "I just don't like dry wine." I get it. It takes some getting used to, for real. It takes some getting used to, for real. But I like a dry wine. I don't like sweet. I like a full body, right? And I like for it to breathe. And actually, I like Dawn says she's drinking a Budweiser. Let me see the picture of you drinking a Budweiser, man. But I like drinking red out of a glass with a large amount. So I'm actually drinking it. This is a red wine glass, but I actually like drinking a full body red like this out of a red or a bigger mouth so that it can really breathe. But this really is a good wine, and it's not expensive at all. This bottle, you can get it between 25 and 30 bucks. In some places, you can get it even cheaper than that. So, but the average price is about 23, 25. Some places charge a little bit more. So I would just say on an average between 25 and 30 bucks. But again, you can get it some places even cheaper than that. But it's really good. And so that's how we're going to start the show with my favorite wine. And I would encourage you to pull up with us with your wine or your bud. And John, you probably need something stronger than a Budweiser after your day today. You probably need something stronger than a Budweiser. So we hope to get this segment sponsored. We hope that we can do an offshoot and create this wine blog. That's our goal, and to create spaces where we can have dinner and have conversation over wine, because I am telling you, we can solve a lot if we break bread together and have a glass of wine together. We can solve a lot of Jackson's woes. All right, so that's our new segment, and I'm excited about that. So pull up with us with your favorite glass in hand, right? Do that for us. Don, just pour your bud in a glass. Hope you're not drinking it straight out of the bottle. I hope you're not doing it straight out of the bottle, man. So let's get to some conversations tonight. So what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? What are your predictions? And I want to be clear. No matter the results, no matter the outcome, let's be very clear, right? Because people tend to fall out over elections and all that, but I want to be very, very clear. No matter the results, we'll be here fighting for Jackson. Yeah, Bridget, I heard turnout was low. I heard that New Hope had a steady flow of people. I can tell you, for me, at my precinct, it was low, and I voted at McLeod Elementary School, and at 7-11 this morning, I was number 11. And of course, you don't expect it to be that many people, but in some elections, 7 o'clock, there's a stretch. I knew it wouldn't be like that this morning, but following that precinct throughout the day, it was kind of slow. It was kind of slow. and that's sad to me. That's sad. That's sad. That's sad. That's sad to me. Barbara, where do you vote? Barbara says where she votes, it was a steady flow. Where do you vote, Barbara? Let us know. Tell us about your precincts today. How was it when you checked in? Kevin, I know you're in Dallas, brother. Results are very slow to come in. I mean, extremely slow. Nothing. Um, um, well, CJ Lemaster just tweeted. Let's see. What did he tweet? Oh, it's gone. Oh, his tweet is gone. So I don't know. Um, yeah. Oh, well, Barbara votes at Blackburn, so it was very steady there. But that's good. Bridget, I absolutely heard about that. Um, I heard about like over in Ward in here where I live in Ward 1. Um, it has been split, and folk who were in Ward 1, some of them now are in Ward 2, and they were not informed that they were in Ward 2. So they showed up at their precincts to vote, and they were not on the voting roll. And they showed up not being on the voter roll, and the election workers couldn't tell them where to go. So that was a little foul. That was a little foul. I hope to have more information about that in the coming days. Jamar says pretty steady at Span. I heard that Span had a steady flow of people. I think my buddy Greg posted something at about 3 o'clock at Span, and maybe there were 300 or 400 people or something at 3 o'clock, which, according to him, in the dialogue that I read on his post, that was pretty decent for Span. And again, over at McLeod, where I vote, it was like at 1 o'clock, maybe 100 and some people had voted. Um, Alan, I wish I knew, brother. Alan says, just tuning in, who's going to be Jackson mayor? I have no idea, man. I have no idea. And I would tell you, this is probably the first election in Jackson that I've not had a firm grasp or understanding as to how it would turn out. Now, CJ Lemaster had a tweet up. Okay, maybe it's back up. Maybe he fixed it. Okay, here we go. He fixed it. So CJ Lemaster, and I guess it's posted at 8:12 on Twitter. He says, with 14 of 81 precincts reporting in the city of Jackson, John Horn, 1,424 votes, has a commanding early lead against incumbent mayor Chokwe Antal Lumumba with 515. So we'll follow that. We'll follow that. We will definitely follow it. That's according to CJ Lemaster's recent tweet. So we will absolutely follow that. Let me go to WLBT's site and see. Yep. So looking on WLBT's site, just based on the numbers, let's see. On the site, it does not tell us. It does not tell us the reporting 17% of the precinct. So it says John Horn at 48% with 1,424. Chokwe Lumumba at 515. That's 17.4% at this hour. Oh no, Alan, no. Showing Timothy Henderson in third place at this point with 407 votes. Delaney Funches in fourth place with 216. Marcus Wallace in fifth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Marcus Wallace in fifth with 117, followed by David Archie, 84. Socrates Garrett, 82. Albert Wilson, 39. James Hopkins, 34. Lakeisha Cry, 33. Courtney Page, 8. But Zach Service, isn't he running as a Democrat? His name is not on this list. His name is not on that list. So it's real early. It's real early. So I wouldn't take anything to the bank just yet. Still early. Yolanda says, "Oh, there it is. Thank you, Dr. J. I guess there it is from WLBT. I don't see Zach's name on there. That's interesting. That's interesting. Zach he's an independent. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I thought Zach was running as a Democrat. Okay, great. Thank you. That makes sense then. That makes sense. So Yolanda says our neighborhood association found out that our precinct changed for some of our residents. We send our mailers throughout our neighborhood letting them know our precinct. We thought the information would get out in time. Got it. Yeah, Tom, I just found out. I didn't know Zach was running as an independent. I had no idea. I didn't pick up on that through this campaign. Interesting. I did not pick up on that. So that's why his name is not there. That makes sense. That absolutely makes sense to me. Yeah. So with these precinct changes, I think those people responsible for getting information out to the public, I think they failed. I think they were derelict in their duties in terms of getting information out. I think they were derelict in their duties in terms of getting information out. But listen, it's still early. These numbers are still coming in. We're not even halfway through it. So I wouldn't read too much into that. Brother Timothy, how are you, man? As always, amazing job on coverage, being informative and being transparent during this entire process. Thank you, my brother. I really do appreciate that, man. I can tell you there are a whole lot of people that feel differently, but I really do appreciate that, man. I am committed to just helping people understand what's happening. I didn't have a dog in it, this fight. Just wanted to make sure people knew and that their information was on the up and up, right? And I remain committed to doing that. So I appreciate you more than you know. I appreciate your saying that. So there were issues. Folks showing up at precincts where they've been voting at for a while, not being on the voting roll because of the redistricting in Jackson, and folk not knowing. That's problematic for me. That is absolutely problematic. And I read on a post, I think Stephen Brown over at the Broward Arts Center said, well, he's been in Ward 1 for forever, switched him to Ward 2. And when he shows up at the place he's been voting, his name was not on the roll. And not only was his name not on the roll, nobody there could tell him where to go. And so you would think that in this process, folk would be informed and equipped with the right information, especially if you've made recent changes, at least changes since the previous election. You would think that folk would be armed with the right information to navigate voters. It's kind of sad. Frederick said that's what happened to them this morning. Just crazy, absolutely crazy, absolutely crazy, absolutely crazy. If you're not going to send out mailers about precinct changes, and even if you do send out mailers about precinct changes, when folks show up and they've been on the roll and they've been voting in this precinct, there should be a way to send them to the correct precinct. Tasha, thank you. I really do appreciate that. Brother Cain, thank you for keeping us informed. It helped me make my decision today. And right there is the goal. Right there, Tasha. Thank you very much. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you very much. And that's the goal right there. Ron says, what percentage of Jackson registered voters do you think will vote in this election? No idea, brother. I have absolutely no idea, but I can tell you this. I can't answer that now, but what I can say to you is that we're going to break down the numbers and the data in all of that, right? Because at some point, voters must be responsible. So we're going to break all of that down when we get post-election data, but I can't answer that now. It seems like there was a low voter turnout but we don't know. But we don't know. We don't know. I am just glad, though, honestly, I am glad the polls are closed so we can move to the next step. So this is the first step in the process, all right? This is the first step in the process. I'm glad this step is over so that we can get to, there's the runoff April 22nd, so then that we can get to the generals in June. So I'm glad today it's over. Alan says, Brother Othor, like him or not, he got to tell it like it is. Hey man, thank you. And so it certainly falls, a dozen in this hand and a dozen in this one. It certainly falls that way. Rob says, I said earlier they're running Hinds County Election Commission. Oh my God, not like a trap house, bro. Not like a trap house. That is hilarious. That's hilarious. Hey, Amy, how are you? How are you? Glad to have you here. Jeremy says, no vote, no voice. Got that right. You got that right. And I'm telling you, when we do the post-election analysis, we're going to really review the data. And it's going to tell us where people voted, right? Who did, who did not, right? It really is going to show that. And hopefully we'll be able to understand if you want better conditions in Jackson, you've got to vote, right? You've got to vote. You've got to vote. Thomas says in Ward 1, Jasmine Barnes leading with 51.6%. That's good. That's good. That's good. That is good. There were a lot of great candidates in Ward 1, a lot of great candidates in Ward 1. And to what my buddy Greg said, that I think that whomever is elected over in Ward 1 will make a good council representative. It's my personal belief, no scientific data, but it is my personal belief. I do believe that Ashby Foote will be the sacrificial lamb in Ward 1 for moving to independent, but yet trying to maintain his Republican stance there. I really do believe that. Yolanda says, all of that changed during redistricting. Our neighborhood association kept calling to see when the information would come out, and it wasn't getting out fast enough, so we got the word out ourselves. Some residents received updates, some didn't. It's horrible that you have to constantly remind people of how to do their jobs. Yeah, that's kind of tough. That's kind of tough. Timothy says, I'm curious on who wins Ward 7, which is my ward of residents. A ton of efficient, accountable work needs to be done, and just not in a specific areas. That's more appealing than others. Here's what I've always said about Ward 7. Here's what I've always said about Ward 7. Ward 7 is like a microcosm of the state. I mean, you've got just a hodgepodge of people in Ward 7. Black, white, gay, straight, rich, poor, male, female. You just got a hodgepodge. So Ward 7 is like a microcosm of the state. It's like a junk pot. It's like everybody is over there, and far too long, certain segments of Ward 7 have gone completely ignored, and that's a travesty. I mean, you go from Belhaven to far South Jackson in Ward 7. Battlefield is Ward 7. So it's a tale of two wards for real inside that one ward. So I know firsthand. I used to live in Ward 7, so I know firsthand that there are so many parts of Ward 7 that have gone totally neglected. Alan, I don't know that. I don't think Patricia Lark Jackson ran this time, right? I don't think she ran this time. I think Jay Johnson made a post, but I think that he was being funny with his post earlier. I saw something, Dr. J, hey brother from another mother, but I didn't see the name. It had gone up, it passed me by rather quickly. Alan, that's Alan, my brother from another mother. That's hilarious. But no, Alan, I don't think Patricia ran this time. I think Jay was being funny because when I saw his post, I had to go do a little check. So, Richard X, did you see abortion protesters in front of Callaway High School? So I didn't see them, but I certainly heard about it. And I tried to catch a clip on the news, but I missed it. So I certainly heard about abortion protesters that were out there. Oh wow! Oh wow! Thank you for sending that pic in. Yeah. So we're gonna wow, 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 wow. Yeah, I heard that they were out there. Rob says these turnout numbers are hella low. Yeah, that's what they predicted, which is really kind of sad. You know, you can't vote change if you don't vote, and you can't vote same if you don't vote. Right? If you don't vote, can't vote change, nor can you vote the same if you don't show up to vote. And so we've got to fix that. Y'all, my allergies, this pollen has just gotten the best of me. So forgive me for my eyes looking like golf balls tonight, but this pollen has just gotten the absolute best of me. I wanted to flood. I wanted it to flood these last couple of days when they said the rain was coming. I wanted it to flood to wash some of this pollen away, but that didn't happen. That didn't happen. So my eyes have been like golf balls for the last 2 days. Yeah, these numbers are real low here. Let's see. Let me refresh this. John Horn has a commanding lead, and you know, it's still early. I will tell you that. That's 33%. 33% reporting. And I'm going to assume Lumumba's base, those precincts have not come in yet. That's what I am going to assume at this point right now. Hey, Othor, how are you feeling about today? I'm late, but I'm sure you've already mentioned how you feel. A little bit, you know, first of all, I feel honored that it's over. I feel relieved. That should be the thing. That's the word. I feel relieved that step one is over, right? I feel relieved that step one is over. Very relieved. Very, very, very relieved that step one is over. As far as the outcome, I predict that we're going to go into a runoff. I predict that we'll go into a runoff. I absolutely believe that. I absolutely believe. I don't think any one of them will get 50% plus one. I don't think we'll have a repeat of 2017. Could be wrong, but that's my prediction. Now, could be absolutely wrong, but that is my prediction. But I am so glad that this step is over. Woo, woo, child, as my sister would say. Vincent, you're right. We've got to do better about voting. We provide information. We have all these conversations. We complain. We do this and we do that, and then we don't show up, right? And you know, and I've said this. Northeast Jackson was counting on a low voter turnout in the black wards. That's one of the reasons they were pushing so hard to get their areas, their communities to the polls, you know, and it seems like they were able to turn themselves out. Yolanda says, I'm glad we're getting that list of canceled down so we can focus better on a solid candidate. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. You know, after tonight, we can really begin to show records. We can compare record for record, right? That's what we can do. We can compare record for record, right? What have you done for Jackson based on your voting record, or you know, or whoever ends in the runoff. You know, what have you done for Jackson? We can compare in a real kind of way records in a real kind of way. And so that's what I'm most excited about these next 3 weeks, is that we are able to compare bodies of work. And I think that's gonna, you know, I think I'll be able to limit my personal commentaries and let the candidates' work speak, right? What have you done for Jackson, right? What have you done for Jackson? What's your work? Let your work lead. And I think that's how we'll be able to shape our conversations over the course of these next 3 weeks. Let's look at your body of work. What have you done for Jackson? That's going to be the focus of my conversations over the next 3 weeks. What have you done for Jackson? Because now we won't have 15 people in one race. We'll be down to 2. We'll be down to 2, and we'll be better able to drill down on the person's work. Yeah, that is very, very, very problematic, Vincent. That's very problematic. Vincent says it's also sad that we have a lot of people living in Jackson, but still on the voting rolls outside of Jackson. That is true. And you know what else is sad though? What else is sad is that not just on the voting rolls outside of Jackson, but on the voting rolls outside of the precincts where they live. I tell everybody to vote where you live. And I'll just give you the example. You know, I remember the last municipal election. There were so many people I knew that lived in Ward 1, but they hadn't changed their precincts from Ward 3. And so they would go drive all the way back on the other side of town to vote in Ward 3. And I was saying then, and I'm still saying, Kenneth Stokes ran unopposed today. Ward 3, he ran unopposed. Kenneth Stokes will be there until he decides he wants to leave. Ward 3 has his back. And rightfully so, deservingly so, right? Ward 3 has his back. And so going from Ward 1 back over to Ward 3, you don't really need your help. Your help is needed in the ward that you live in, right? It's needed. Sylvester says, getting the community, I can't talk to that. Getting the community out to vote starts before an election comes up. You're absolutely right. And that burden, honestly, you're absolutely right. That burden is on the candidate. That burden, in my mind, is on the candidate. Kimberly, just as far as the numbers are coming in, the top 2 are John Horn and Chokwe Antar Lumumba, just based on the numbers that are coming in. Those are the top 2 right now. Barbara says, what we really need is a woman as mayor. You know, that really wouldn't be bad. That really wouldn't be bad. I know there were a couple of females that talked about running this time, but ultimately decided against it. Having a female mayor probably would do this city well, right? Probably would absolutely do this city well. But oh well, we'll have to wait 4 more years for that to happen if it happens. So the turnout's going to be interesting. Let's see if the percentages change. Let's see. Not quite half, but we're at 44% of the precincts reporting it. John Horn has a commanding lead. John Horn has a commanding lead. He's at 49% at 3,799 votes. Antar still holding on to second at 1,241. Tim Henderson is holding on to third at 1,008. Delano Funches, 653. Marcus Wallace, 304. Wow, 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 wow. Let's see what's it looking like with the council races. Jasmine Barnes has 400 votes right now. Stephen Thompson has 202 votes right now. Tina Clay in Ward 2 has 307. Marcus Cheatham has 138. Brian Grizzell, 166. Malcolm May, 52 over in Ward 4. In Ward 5, Vernon Hartley, 515. Rojana Brown Mitchell, 327. In Ward 6, Brown Thomas, I don't know how to pronounce that. Lashia? I don't know how to pronounce that. She has 108. I didn't even know a female was running over there. She has 108 right now. Imai Thompson has 89. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 folk running. I think Ward 6 probably will go to a runoff. In Ward 7, Kevin Parkinson has 488. Quint Withers has 294. All right. All right. Very interesting. Very interesting. Quinn, you better say it, the buyout. The buyout. Bridget, that's about the same that Channel 3 is reporting. John has 49.4%, with Lumumba at 16.1%. So that's about the same there. That's about the same. That's about the same. It's going to be interesting. It is absolutely going to be interesting. And that's with about 44% of the precincts reporting. Darryl, what do you say, brother? Darryl said, we've had elections for Miss JSU, and the winner had more votes than the winner for mayor will have. Oh, this is good. The apathy in the city is a real challenge. Population loss is one thing. The loss of people who care enough to vote is a whole other matter. You're absolutely right, brother. You're absolutely right. And sadly, that apathy, not solely, but largely rests in the African American community. You know, it really, really does. I want to put Darryl's comment up again, because that's a whole sermon right there. That's a whole sermon. We've had elections for Miss JSU, and the winner had more votes than the winner for mayor will have. The apathy in the city is a real challenge. Population loss is one thing. Loss of people who care enough to vote is a whole other matter. And it is very sad. That's spot on, brother. That is spot on. That's a commentary all by itself. That's a whole show all by itself. And I think that we may have to delve into that conversation. I think that we may absolutely have to delve into that conversation. RJ3, how are you, buddy? Yeah, we're all waiting on final results. We're getting, the numbers are slowly coming in. Maybe about 44% of the precincts have reported so far. So I don't think tonight is going to be that long. I don't think the night is going to be that long. We may know by 10, or not too far after that. I don't think the night is going to be that long. Doing good, my friend. Doing good, brother. Absolutely. Man, I would like to unpack Darryl's piece tonight. Yeah, I think so. Now I will tell you this, RJ, I think it would be a runoff. But if John continues to trend like he's trending, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But we shall see. I'm ready. You know, I'm not worried. Um, um, Based on those council races, there are a lot of black boxes have not come in. A lot of black boxes have not come in yet. So we shall see. Baby Chokwe and Horn in a runoff. That's a high probability. That's a very, very, very high probability. High probability. I don't think anybody will get 50% plus one tonight. I don't think. Don't know, but I don't think. And that has been my prediction all along, that Antar would face John Horn in a runoff. That has been my prediction all along. But it's 8:41. I don't think, honestly, don't think it's going to take all night to get the results in. I just don't think. Any other issues that you've experienced at the poll today? Did anything stand out to you? Amira, thank you for praying from Tennessee. You know, I would tell you that I did not have enough conversations centered around the city council races. I did not. I think I did a very poor job of disseminating information about the council races, mainly because this mayor's race was so thick, right, and so heavy, so thick and so heavy. Do we have, Dr. J, any updates in Canton or Byram or Meridian? I'm watching Meridian. I'm watching Gulfport. I'm interested in what's going to happen in Gulfport, how Sonia Williams Barnes is doing on the coast there in Gulfport. I'm interested in what's going on in Canton, and Byram as well. Do we have any of that? Let me kind of scroll and see if they're showing us anything else. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Brandon. We see anything? I can't see that. So in Byram, Elroy Winding has 69 votes, and Mayor White has 64. So those numbers are real sure, but that's 17% of the precincts reporting there. No numbers in Canton. Where is let's see. No numbers on this site anyway in Canton, though I've heard some things, but they're not really showing any numbers. Let's see. Wendy says, I hope we can wrap by 10. Senator Cory Booker had me up all night last night. Me too, Wendy, me too. And I was dozing in and off with him today. But when I tell you, we're going to talk more about that on Thursday. But when I tell you, Senator Cory Booker has been a trooper for the United States. He has been an absolute trooper for the United States. Demetric says Sonia will pull it out. She is leading. Oh, that's good to know. That's good to know. That is good to know there. I know we all focused on the Jackson races, but how's Butch Lee and Shanks doing in Rankin County? I've not heard. We'll look at that. Daryl says the dismal. Let's go back to Daryl says the dismal turnout. Family members who vote at the same precinct around the same time of day in this election, they signed in as number 48, and historically would be number 2 or 200 plus. We have got to get the give a damn back in this city. Yes, the person with the most votes win, but the lack of voting in totality should be concerning to all of us, no matter. I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree with that. Absolutely. Robert Diaz says, no matter who wins, let's hope the elected mayor does the job with integrity and a sense of duty to represent the populace and not themselves and or their own interests. I could not agree with you more. I could not agree with you more. According to WWT, John Horn is in a pretty good lead. Yeah, but you have to look at the precincts reporting. So yeah, you're absolutely right. That's what they are reporting. Yeah, let me go back and look at this, get an update here. Yeah, John has a commanding lead. He has a commanding lead, but he has not tipped the scale, and all of the precincts are not in. So we shall see. Tommy says 16 WAPT says Butch Lee is the winner in Brandon. Hey, Rob, check on Fred Esco's race. I don't see numbers here, but I hear he may have lost his alderman seat. I don't know. Don't know. Yeah, that's a commanding lead there. Yeah, it looks like Jasmine Barnes is going to pull it off in Ward 1. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. Iman Thompson has taken the lead in Ward 6. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Let me go. Let me get over to Gulfport so I can see, because I don't see numbers. I can't believe there are no numbers there for Canton. But let me get over to Gulfport. CAFG plus well, there's Clarksdale. Okay, I don't see Gulfport. I don't see it. I don't see anything listed for Gulfport, but I certainly hope Sonia Williams Barnes pulls it off as the winner in the mayoral race in Gulfport. Yeah, Wendy, Jasmine has a commanding lead in Ward 1. She has a commanding lead in Ward 1. She does, she does, she does, she does, she does. Right, Dimitri. That should be on WLOX and not LBT for the coast, right? Good point. Good point. Good point. Good point. I'm excited though. I'm very excited for Sonya. I'm very excited. She is the one. She is the one. So they're not giving percentages there either. So I will tell you that even though right now it's showing that 63% of the precincts have reported, but John stops shy right now of getting the 50% plus one that's needed. We shall see. Only a few votes separates Iman Thompson and Shia Brown. I don't know how to pronounce that. Only a few votes separates that. It's going to be interesting. Very, 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 very interesting. 69, 64 are the numbers for the mayor's race in Byron. No numbers in Canton. All right, guys. Well, we shall see. We shall see what the end results will be. Let me say this as we prepare to wrap tonight. Let me say this. And so I want to leave you with some personal thoughts tonight. We're calling this new segment um, Othor's On, in my own words, right? Um, are you? No, Alan, it's too early to say that right now. Too early to say. I know that's probably your desire, right? But it's still too early to say. I don't know. It may happen. It may happen. But I think it's a little too early to say. I don't know, Tommy, about Republicans in their low turnout. You talk about voting in the Republican primary. That's one thing, but let me just say that a lot of the Republicans voted in the Democratic primary, right? That was the strategy. Um, Kimberly says Christopher Darrow Valley points decades of political and financial issues such as infrastructure failures, i.e., the water crisis, concern about crime, and allegations of mismanagement have eroded trust in local leadership, making people feel disengaged from the electoral process. Absolutely. Absolutely. Robert, I appreciate you asking that question. Thank you for the compliments of reporting. Um, my Cash App is scrolling across the screen. I'll ask Dr. J to put it up bigger so they can see. That's how you can donate to us via Cash App, $ Othor Cain. I appreciate all of the support. I absolutely appreciate all of the support. Let me say this in my own words. No matter the outcome, let me be very clear to you. This segment is called Othor's On. This is going to be our closing segment going forward, right? Um, no matter the outcome, I'm going to be right here talking about Jackson because that that is what's most important. Talking about Jackson, right? Talking about Jackson. That's what's most important. It's bigger than a person. It's bigger than one individual, right? It's bigger than one individual. There it is, Dr. J. Thank you. Raw, real, reflective. This is our closing segment. And so to wrap up tonight, let me say this to you. No matter the outcome, we're going to be right here talking about Jackson. I had a very real conversation today, earlier today, and it sparked a thought. You know, um, you got a lot of people with slave mentality, right? You have a lot of people with slave mentality. You know, I even heard somebody say nobody can take Jackson. Jackson is already gone. Well, that's a lie from the pit of hell. That's a lie. That's an absolute lie. But you understand why people say what they say when you're on a payroll. You have to say stuff like that, right? But I think at the end of the day, no matter what our personal feelings are, sometimes we have to put personal feelings aside and do what's right for the city. Do what's right for the city. There's a reason there was such a concerted effort in Northeast Jackson and why all of that money was pumped into John Horn's campaign. Follow the money because that tells the story. Follow the money because that tells the story. But at the end of the day, we're going to be right here reporting on Jackson. That's the focal point. Jackson is the focal point. Jackson. Jackson is the focal point. So we're going to be right here. Our coverage won't let up at all. Our coverage will not let up. Right? Our coverage won't let up. We're going to be right here reporting on Jackson because that's what matters. Even if it takes, doing some more educational pieces about getting voters more engaged and more involved, we're going to do that. Let me say this. Follow the dollars. Absolutely. Let me say this. This is my third close. I almost sound like my preacher. So in my final close, right, in my final closing, you have to ask yourselves, why was John Horn paying hitmen to attack me? Why? Why is that kind of person on your payroll? Why? Why? There's a reason. There's a reason. And so that person will never advance to nothing. Let's just say, should John be successful? Let's just say, should he be successful? That person doing all of that stuff won't advance to nothing. Won't advance to absolutely nothing. No space, no place, right? There's a reason I was attacked in this mayoral campaign, and I'm not a candidate. Follow the money, because that tells the story. Aquita, you're absolutely right. Follow the dollars. Follow the money, because that tells the story. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it. I absolutely appreciate all of your support. All right. We'll probably make some posts throughout the night, or as long as I can keep my eyes open, with results as they come in. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.